On day 13 of the Diddy sex trafficking trial, defense counsel for Sean Combs cross-examined a former personal assistant to Sean Combs, confronting her about her claims that working for Sean was chaotic and toxic. Here are some highlights.
What is the date of the first message?
December 5th, 2023.
D-Rock said, "Your boy said to call him. He doesn't want or need you to do anything. He just called me." What is your understanding of who your boy refers to?
Puff.
How did you feel when you got this message?
Like terrified. Oh my gosh, it's not going to stop.
Did you respond?
No,
Why not?
because I didn't know how. I didn't know how to respond, and I was just hoping it would go away.
You say here that you hadn't talked to P, but that you tried to call him back with no answer. Did you, in fact, call Mr. Combs back?
No,
Why were you telling D-Rock that you had called Mr. Combs?
because I wanted to play neutral so that when he reported back to Puff, it wouldn't sound like I was avoiding or running or whatever. To send an alert out that I was not, I didn't want to be.
Let's turn to page 5. D-Rock says in this first message, "Let me know how I can send you something." What did you understand D-Rock to be referring to here?
Money.
Let's look at your response. And I want to look specifically at the second paragraph of your response. What did you say there?
No, I never asked for anything. I've never been in such a low spot in debt, but that's my problemo. And I'll figure it out one day. I hope, but I'm always here to help y'all out in any ventures or anything y'all need, etc. Fam style, duh.
What did you say at the end of the message?
Love you so much, D.
And let's zoom out just a second. Focusing on D-Rock's response, D-Rock says, "Okay, I will try you tomorrow, and I know you didn't ask me for anything. I'm allowed to send my sister a gift." What did you understand D-Rock to be referring to when he said, "Send my sister a gift"?
Money.
Did D-Rock, in fact, send you money?
No.
During this time, what, if any, communications did you receive from Mr. Combs himself?
2 text messages, I believe.
Before we move on to those text messages from Mr. Combs, you said you thought you figured out what was going on with D-Rock. What were you referring to?
In my experience, if Puff wanted to get someone on the phone.
Objection.
If you can try to rephrase the question.
Just based on your experience, when Mr. Combs wasn't able to get in touch with someone, what would he do?
Objection.
The objection is sustained. I think we need to be talking about a particular incident if you want to ask the question.
Speaking about what was happening in these text messages, Mia, based on your observations of the relationship between D-Rock and Mr. Combs and based on your experience in working with Mr. Combs, what did you understand was happening when D-Rock was reaching out to you?
Objection.
That's overruled.
Puff wanted D-Rock to get me and make sure that I wasn't a threat.
Who sent the messages here?
Puff.
Focusing on the first message, were these messages to you?
Yes.
What is the date of the first message?
February 4th, 2024.
Could you please read the message?
Hey, Mia. It's Puff. Please let me know when you get 10 minutes to talk. Love.
How did you feel when you got this message?
Terrified.
Did you respond?
No,
Why not?
because I was terrified and I believed that he couldn't be as aggressive as he was normally because he was perhaps under.
Objection.
Let's move on with a new question.
What is the date of the second message here?
February 7th, 2024.
Could you please read that message?
Hey, I don't want to be blowing up your phone. Just needed to talk to you for 10 minutes. Just need my memory jogged on some things. You were my right hand for years, so I just want to speak to you to remember who was even around me. And it would be good to hear your voice, but if you don't want to, all good. Just let me know. Love. Hope you're well. Emojis?
Did you respond to this?
No,
Why not?
because I wanted nothing to do with him or anything. And I just didn't want anything to do with him at all. He was the person I was traumatized by, and now he's coming back.
I think earlier you said you were terrified when you got the first message. If he was nice to you in these messages, why were you terrified?
Because I knew this was a front.
Have you received any texts or calls from Mr. Combs himself since February 7th of 2024?
No, I don't think so. But my phone did.
Mia, without referring to any particular diagnosis, just based on what you have experienced, why are you not able to hold a job?
I would have to leave because I would be triggered by really normal situations with an overwhelming sense of fear. Being in trouble, like overreacting to normal, just overwhelmed me.
What are some of those normal situations that were overwhelming to you?
Objection.
Overruled.
Misinterpreting simple emails, or if someone said, "Where are you?" like freaking out and thinking, and trying to explain where I was and why I was there. And it could be someone I just wanted to see if they wanted to get coffee. If someone called my name, if someone said my name from across the room, all those feelings of getting in trouble would come flooding back. I have triple guessed myself in everything I did.
Who is the person who caused those feelings in you, Mia?
Puff.
No further questions, Your Honor.
And November 4th, 2013 is a memorable date in your life. True?
In his life or my life?
I guess both.
It's his birthday.
When you say his birthday, Mr. Combs was born, to your knowledge, the 4th day of November, 1969. Is that true?
Yes.
And this here is, you're working for Mr. Combs and you're posting on your personal social media account on his birthday, right?
Correct.
And can you read what you posted?
Last non-B-Day, shout out to my mentor at I Am Diddy. Thank you for always letting me give birth to my dreams.
Now, I would like to talk to you about the image first, okay? Is that you in the hospital gown?
Yes.
And replicating giving birth to a child?
Yes. It's a video shoot.
And you have here that you posted on your personal account your rapist delivering the baby, right?
This was a comedy video shoot, so that I did not write. And this is a still of that. But that phrasing? Could you ask me the question again? I'm sorry.
You chose to post. This is your personal account, right?
Yes. It was a public account.
Right. Under your name.
Yes.
And you chose this image.
Yeah.
And it's the image of Mr. Combs being a doctor and delivering a child. Your child, true?
The character? Yes. It's a funny video that I was proud that like Andy Samberg directed. So I was proud that I was in a funny video.
But this message is to your mentor. Right?
That's what it says, yes.
Who wrote that?
I did.
And you tagged Mr. Combs? That's his handle, right?
Yes.
And you wrote, "Thank you for always giving me..." Excuse me, I read that wrong. I apologize. "Thank you for always letting me give birth to my dreams," right?
Yes.
Now, November 4th is not only memorable to Mr. Combs, but it's memorable to you, right?
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Well, you told the ladies and gentlemen of the jury that shortly after you were hired in 2009, you were at the birthday party at the Plaza Hotel for Mr. Combs.
Yes.
And at that November 4th, 2009 birthday party, you find yourself alone with Mr. Combs, right?
Yes.
That's what you tell the jury, right?
Yes.
And he tells you how excited he is to be able to work with you as a new hire, right?
Something along those lines.
And he wants to celebrate with you your hire, his birthday, and the hopeful great work you could do together, and gives you alcohol, right?
Yes.
And you do not one but two shots with Combs, right?
Yes.
And what you believe happened, you're not saying definitively, but the alcohol overcame you, right?
I definitely felt affected by it, yes.
And you said you were young and the alcohol should not have had that type of effect on you, right?
Yes.
So you believed, potentially or more than potentially, you were drugged.
I did not say those words. I didn't say that.
I didn't ask if you said it. That's what you believe may have happened, right?
Your Honor, can we take this exhibit down during this questioning?
That's fine.
It's a possibility, yes.
And after feeling different than you believe you should have felt, you feel a person you really don't know put his mouth onto your mouth without your permission. You remember telling the jurors that.
Yes.
Objection to the form, Your Honor.
Overruled.
Then you felt, without your desire or consent, Sean Combs's hands going up your dress and onto your person. You remember that.
I said he put his hand up the side of my dress. Yes.
And all of that to you was paralyzing.
Yes.
And you really don't even know what happened after that. You wake up in a chair and the sun is shining. You remember telling the jurors that?
I said my next memory was that.
And all that happened on November 4th of 2009, right?
Correct.
But as you see on 1705, you were calling the person who sexually assaulted you on that day shout out for his birthday to your mentor, right?
Of course. Yes.
1706. That is another same-day posting by you, right?
Yes.
When I say same day, the anniversary of 4 years before you being sexually assaulted by Sean Combs, according to your testimony, right?
I didn't celebrate it as an anniversary. It was his birthday to me.
You remember the date that you claimed that you were sexually assaulted, right?
It was his 40th birthday, so the date is easy to remember.
Always November 4th, according to you, right? That's a bad day in your life, right?
That was a bad experience. Absolutely.
And this is again a second post by you on your personal social media account. And tell the jurors, please read what you wrote, please.
Sure. Happy anniversary to your birthday last year. Since this year you've changed your B-Day date on some real Puff Daddy. Thank you for constantly inspiring me and giving me an extended family for life. You are forever one of my greatest friends. Thank you also for being funny. Because you're funny. Like really, really, really funny. I love you at I am Diddy.
You're next to Mr. Combs, right?
Yes, right?
The person who terrorizes you, right?
Yes.
And he's holding, it looks like, and please correct me, his private part in his hands.
If that's what you see, I guess so.
And this is what image you picked out, right, Mia?
Yeah.
You put this on your page, right?
Yes.
And you are proud of Mr. Sean Combs. That's why you wrote this, right?
No. I wrote this because Instagram was a place to show how great your life was, even if it's not true, and because I had his fans following me, as well as his official Diddy fan site. And I also didn't want my family and friends to know the misery I was in. So of course, you post the great times. The highs were high and the lows were low, and he also saw my Instagram.
You chose to write, "Thank you for constantly inspiring me and giving me an extended family for life!" Exclamation point. You are forever one of my greatest friends. That's what you wrote to the man who has traumatized you, right?
Yes.
You were in fear of Sean Combs every day, is that true?
On the days that he was calling me his best friend and treating me like that, I wasn't in fear of him.
You weren't in fear of the man who took your innocence?
Objection.
Overruled.
Oh, I wasn't in fear? Yes, I was in fear anytime Puff was not happy. Yes, because I wanted to make sure he was, because then I knew I was safe.
Ma'am, you have family, right?
Yes, I have like parents and a sister and...
Am I correct?
Yes.
You have friends outside of Combs Enterprises, right?
Objection. Can we get a time frame?
During the time that... May I rephrase?
You may.
During the time that you were working with Sean Combs from 2009 until this posting on the 4th day of November 2014, you still had friends outside of the people who worked with Combs Enterprises, is that true?
I didn't get to see them or speak to them, but your friends don't just stop being friends with you. But no, at this point in time, I did not have an external sounding board. I didn't get to see or talk to my friends and family in any capacity that made sense. Every once in a while.
You could have, though, right?
No.
Why?
There was absolutely no time. And I also I had to get permission to leave or do things, I had to beg to go to my grandma's funeral. So I don't know if that paints any sort of picture.
Mia, you're not a weak person, are you?
I'm not sure. It depends.
In 2009, if I cut you off, I apologize.
That's okay.
Were you done?
Sure.
In 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, going into March 2017, you are strong, aren't you?
Strong. I don't know what you mean by that exactly.
You gave advice to people to say stand up for yourself. You said that to Ms. Ventura, didn't you?
When?
You told her that she's a superstar, right?
I told her but I don't know about standing up. Did I tell Cass she was a superstar? Probably.
Told her that the money has to come to her just like men get the money, right?
I don't know. I don't remember what you're saying.
Isn't it true that what you told this jury about the conduct of Mr. Combs is a lie, a misconduct?
I'm sorry. Can you. What?
Isn't it true that Mr. Combs never had unwanted, non-consensual, forcible sexual contact with you? Isn't that true?
I'm sorry. You started with isn't that untrue? And then isn't that true? What I said in this courtroom is the truth. I have not lied to anyone at all.
Isn't it true that, although unforgivable for any person to put their hands on a woman, especially a man, isn't it true that it did not happen as many times as you just said to this jury?
Objection to form.
That's overruled.
Everything I've said in this courtroom is true.
Then why would you? If you're being sexually assaulted and your sister is being brutalized physically, why are you making a scrapbook for Mr. Combs?
It's a lot more complicated than the way you phrase that. It's abuse on all levels. And
I'm sorry, go ahead.
oh no, I was just going to say, I guess you could talk to any sexual victim advocate or any abuse victim advocate, and they could explain it to you much better than I could.
What if you're not a victim of sexual assault? Then what?
Objection.
Sustained.
According to the exhibit, this is December 6th, 2016, correct?
Oh, with me. Yes, that's what it says in the text.
It's Mia's number in blue, is that true, according to the exhibit?
Yes,
And whose number is in green?
it says it's Christina Coram.
Is that the person also known as KK?
Yes.
I'd like you to do me a courtesy. Could you go slow, but can you read your blue and then I will read the green if that's okay, and we'll go in order.
Sure. I'm going to kill myself. My life is over.
OMG, WTF. Mia, that is not funny.
I don't think so either. Literally over.
What is wrong, and don't say that. Take it back.
What's your back here, my love?
Answer your phone, Mia. This is serious. Mia, you can't make a statement like the first thing you said and then not answer your phone. I'm serious. Please answer your phone. I'm gonna call you if you don't call me back right now, please. Mia, I'm serious. Mia, WTF, you cannot say that and not answer your phone. Mia, I'm serious. You know I just went through this. You need to call me back now or I'm calling your parents. Mia, can you please answer your phone?
I'm so sorry. I completely forgot. I'm so sorry. I'm with Laura Gomez. I'll call you soon.
It's okay. Just wanted to make sure you were on. And then it has an asterisk. Okay. Are you okay? Call me when you leave.
I'm not, but I'm alive and I love you.
Love you too. And just call me when you can. Need you to tell me that over the phone, LOL. Just know how, I'm not going to say it, but effing talented and amazing you are. And you are the legit, bound for greatness. You are a superstar and everyone knows it. I'm so lucky to have you as one of my best friends and will always be here for you. Love you to death, boo-boo, with a red heart emoji.
Just started crying from that. Thank you so much. Love you too. I'm so heartbroken. I can't breathe. I can't wait to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Right now, I feel buried and depressed and hopeless. Like just throat slit. Do I say anything? I was legit just going to just text him, wow, and that's it. I can't sleep. And I'm not okay. I don't even know what to do. I don't understand how to make this pain go away. It hurts so bad.
Let's talk about that, but before we do you see you use the name Ms. Laura Gomez?
Yes.
Can you just tell the jurors who that was?
At the time, I believe she was in HR.
And HR is Human Resources at Combs Enterprises, fair to say?
Yes, I believe so.
Now is it true that this is when you found out that you are severed? I'm just using my word. Whatever word you want to use, from employment with Mr. Combs' company, true?
Like when I lost my life? Yeah, I believe so. That's what it looks like.
And you start out, I'm going to kill myself. My life is over, right?
Yes.
And that's because of the fact that you are no longer working with Sean Combs and the other people?
Well, I was just given this notification out of the blue with no reason, and I'm not getting it delivered. I have I'm not getting the message delivered to me by the person who controlled me for that many years. It made no sense, and it felt horrific. Like I was just I had no explanation for it because he was just telling me recently how I was the only company bringing him money. And we were in the middle of working on the Bad Boy documentary. And also this was the only world I knew 24 hours a day for 8 years. So that's like dog years. I don't know what that's how many years it was. I didn't have. That's all I knew. So it was, yeah, very overwhelmingly horrific.
You didn't want to leave the employment, did you?
I did not want to leave the company that I built, where I was actually starting to see my dreams come to fruition that I worked so hard for. Absolutely no.
And you loved that position, didn't you?
I loved working. I loved film and television. Absolutely. I loved what I was doing at the time, and I finally got there.
No one forced you to work very hard, right?
No, that's no. I mean, I'm a very hard worker regardless. That's my ethic. But there was not an option if I wasn't.
Well, the option was you could have quit.
No, I didn't see it that way.
Why?
Again, it's a pretty long psychological explanation, but this was all presented as it was a job. But this was not just a job. I mean, I had to ask permission to leave places for the weekend. This was somebody. People I was around 24 hours a day. It was a this is all I knew, and I worked so hard and gone through so much that now it's just being ripped away without an explanation.
Are you telling the jury that you felt that you could not leave that employment on your own?
Correct?
Then why were you going to, God forbid, kill yourself when you were terminated? Or if that's the wrong word, I'm not. When you were severed from that company, why wasn't that a relief?
I wasn't severed from the company. I was, I believe, misled about him wanting to dissolve Revolt Films. Again, without my wrongdoing. I just want to make that clear.
But isn't this great? I mean, you're away from your abuser?
No, because at the time I didn't realize that. This is absolutely the time not great. In hindsight, fantastic. But at the time, the worst thing ever.